Cowboys Nation, it's time to talk about what could be one of the smartest, most impactful moves left on the table for Dallas this season. The trade deadline came and went, and Jerry Jones made some noise, bringing in defensive tackle Quinnen Williams and linebacker Logan Wilson to try and stop the bleeding on that struggling defense. Those were solid moves, calculated and aggressive. But as every fan watching knows, one problem still stands out like a sore thumb: safety. The Cowboys' safety situation has been nothing short of chaotic this year. Injuries, inconsistency, blown coverages, you name it, we've seen it. Dallas has been scrambling for solutions week after week, even going so far as to move cornerback Reddy Stewart to safety just to survive games. That's not how a contending defense operates. That's desperation. And yet, as bad as it's been, fortune might finally be turning in Dallas's favor, because the answer to their safety nightmare might have just fallen right into their lap. On Friday, NFL insiders reported that the Tennessee Titans have released veteran safety Quandre Diggs. Yes, that Quandre Diggs, the three-time Pro Bowler, the veteran leader, and the Texas-born defensive general who has been one of the most consistent safeties in the league for over a decade. And suddenly, for a Cowboys team desperate for stability in the secondary, the timing couldn't be more perfect. Let's rewind for a second. Quandre Diggs was originally drafted by the Detroit Lions in the 6th round of the 2015 NFL Draft, and all he's done since then is build a resume that demands respect. Over 150 games played, 124 starts, 652 tackles, 57 pass breakups, and 24 interceptions. He's been to the Pro Bowl 3 times. He's a leader, a tone setter, and a guy who knows how to command a defense. And if we're being real, this Cowboys secondary needs a commander. The team started the season with Donovan Wilson and Malik Hooker as the top safeties, but both have battled injuries and inconsistency all year long. The communication between the corners and the safeties has broken down repeatedly, and opposing quarterbacks have feasted on blown coverages and deep zones and missed assignments in the middle of the field. It's been frustrating to watch, not because of effort, but because of confusion. And that's where Quandre Diggs comes in. He's not the young stud anymore. He's 32 now, but that might actually be the best thing about him. He brings leadership, he brings composure, he brings the kind of football IQ that you can't teach. For a defense that has looked lost without Micah Parsons' spark and Trevon Diggs' presence, adding a veteran like Quandre could help anchor this group for the second half of the season. Just imagine this: Logan Wilson calling plays in the middle, Quinnen Williams collapsing pockets up front, and Quandre Diggs directing traffic in the back end. That's the kind of spine a defense needs to stay upright when the pressure mounts. According to Pro Football Focus, Diggs earned a 64.4 coverage grade this season, good for 30th among safeties, and a 64.7 grade against the run. Those numbers might not sound elite, but they represent something Dallas doesn't have right now: consistency. The Cowboys don't need perfection, they need reliability. And Quandre Diggs delivers exactly that. Plus, this move makes sense financially. Dallas doesn't need to commit long-term money to Diggs. He could be a half-season rental, a veteran bridge player to stabilize the defense until the team can retool in the offseason. If they're serious about making a late-season push, this is the kind of move that shows it. Because let's face it, Cowboys Nation, this team isn't out of it yet. Yes, they're sitting at 3-5-1. Yes, they've looked shaky, but there's still time. The offense has weapons. Dak has been connecting with George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, and the offensive line is finally getting healthier. What they've lacked is defensive balance, and that starts with communication and leadership on the back end. Quandre Diggs brings both. He's a tone setter in every sense. In Seattle, he was the guy who always made the critical third down stop, the one who pulled teammates together after a blown coverage and said, "We're not doing that again." You can't measure that on a stat sheet, but you can see it in the way a defense responds when he's out there. And if you think Jerry Jones doesn't notice that kind of leadership, think again. Jerry's made it clear, he's not here to rebuild. He's here to compete right now. That's why he traded for Quinnen Williams and Logan Wilson. He's building a defense that can respond to adversity. Adding Quandre Diggs would be the final piece to that midseason rebuild, the veteran presence that unites the locker room and calms the chaos. Remember, this isn't the first time Jerry has gone out and found a veteran who made an impact late in the year. He's done it before. From Charles Woodson to Everson Griffin, Dallas has a history of midseason additions that changed the tone of the defense. Quandre Diggs could be next in that line. And let's not forget the emotional side of this story. Quandre Diggs is a Texas guy. Born and raised in Angleton, Texas, he played college football at the University of Texas. Coming home to play for the Cowboys, the team that represents his home state, would mean something. It would light a fire. It would give him a reason to go all in for these final games. And that kind of emotional connection, it matters. The truth is, Dallas doesn't need to overthink this. They need leadership, they need stability, they need a safety who knows how to read offenses and communicate coverages. Quandre Diggs checks every one of those boxes. It's not a flashy move, it's not a blockbuster trade, but it's the kind of smart, veteran addition that championship teams make in November. And if the Cowboys are serious about making this season mean something, they'll make the call. Because if there's one thing we've learned watching this team, is that when the defense communicates, when they play with unity and confidence, they're dangerous. That offense can score. That can sling it. Pickens and Lamb can stretch the field. But none of it matters if the defense keeps collapsing in critical moments. Quandre Diggs might just be the missing piece that brings balance back to this team, the steady veteran who ties it all together. Cowboys Nation, this is the moment. Jerry Jones has shown he's willing to take chances. He's already brought in reinforcements at defensive tackle and linebacker. Now it's time to finish what he started. Bring Quandre Diggs home. Because the Cowboys still have fight left in them. The season isn't over. The playoffs are still in reach. And with the defense led by Quinnen Williams, Logan Wilson, and potentially Quandre Diggs, Dallas could go from lost to lethal in a matter of weeks. But the question now is, will Jerry pull the trigger? Will he go all in one more time? Cowboys Nation, what do you think? Is Quandre Diggs the missing piece that could stabilize this defense? Could he be the spark that helps Dallas climb back into contention? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you believe this move could change everything, hit that like button, subscribe to Dallas Game Day, and let's keep this conversation going. Because the season isn't dead yet, and with the right moves, the star can still shine bright.